Liquid. Liquid.
Yeah. Alright, okay. Cap.
Oh, well, then I'll just start this series off with panel first for Liquid as well.
Alright, let's go. 3 out of 3 then. They've all agreed here. Very agreeable moves they are as we start things off in the grand final. Game 1, let's head into the arena with your commentary team to see who comes out on top between Virtus.pro, Team Liquid.
You know, I'd love to know the answer to that, who will come out on top, but really, I'm going to love the path, the journey that brings us there, Kyle. I got the matchup that I was kind of looking for, maybe not with the crowd, as, well, no, China in the grand final, but VP and Liquid been playing some amazing Dota throughout this competition.
Yeah, I don't think you can ask for more. Final major of the circuit, Liquid versus VP. Two teams, like, I think their series at this last TI, even though it was, I think, it was like lower bracket round 4, you know, it wasn't even a loser finals or anything, it was still probably the premiere of the entire event. They have a ton of mutual respect, and I mean,
a ton of mutual respect when the first thing you see written up there in the chat log is along the lines of "only TI winners can talk to you?" ? And that was from Kuro. That was directed at Kuro, saying "only you can talk to me." They muted everybody else. Solo, little bit of trouble. The double dragon's going to work, but this is not double dragon. This is Dota. And Solo will decide to back off. He's got a lot more friends up on top lane, so let's just get our bearings before we start off. So I always love this double dragon lane from Team Liquid. So it's the Visage plus the Jakiro on top lane from Tumblr and Kuro. That goes against the offlane Beastmaster of Pasha, the roaming SK of Roger. Cannot wait to see more of his plays. But Solo in towards the mid. The Bane starting with Miracle and no one going up against each other. And then down at the bottom is the roaming GH. Nagasara, and then Ramses and Mind Control wrap up our lanes with the Darkseer versus the Juggernaut, that 5th pick coming in from VP, as we were all questioning, like, what the hell do they get to wrap up their lineup?
yeah, Jug lanes well against the Darkseer, but
Solar? He's real careful. He's real fine until he gets hit by Psyblade. And he got the brain sap off, so gets life back.
Yeah, you just don't want to play Jug into Visage or TA. They both output tons of raw physical damage, and your spin is just not very effective, especially when you consider he's playing against Naga too. It's just very difficult. I like that they put the Bane mid. TA punishes this Invoker really hard if left to just 1v1, but you know, Naga is kind of just here as well. I think TA is less XP dependent than an Invoker.
I can't believe we've actually moved into a dual lane mid. Matumba really low on top, starts to salve up. Pasha's in pretty deep, has his TP of his own. Kuro, no point up in Ice Bar, so he's not going to get away, but it's just this negative armor and Miracle. After he was able to hit level 2 and had Refraction, he's just been trying to pummel into either Solo or no one. Force more support, force more friends. A quick nightmare from Solo. Damn, he's good on this hero. GH turns around. He wants to try and kill off Solo, but with Brain Sap, that's just going to be impossible. Miracle's so low too. They got the Force Spirit working with him. But Miracle's back up the hill and will burn the salve. But first blood to Virtus.pro.
Really well played by Solo there. Maybe a slight misplay by GH. A little bloodthirsty early on, wants to start this series off strong. Part of the strength of Bane and why we see it picked up so often. I mean, look at the base stats. Level 2, he's got 65 damage. No stat items, 5 armor, 7 when he's next to the tower.
Such a comfort hero for a player like Solo. How many times throughout this tournament have we said this Bane nightmares a target and they've instantly forced the enemy team to switch the targets because of it? We saw it used perfectly there. Top lane, ensnare, into Riptide. GH using those early levels with a Soul Assumption damage. They have enough to kill off Pasha. And Roger Burrow strikes forward, so he initiated in. The Team Liquid have no more control to give. So burn down the life on Roger. He'll have to salve that off. Now out of health consumables, but a revenge kill in for Team Liquid.
Down bottom, Mind Control's doing quite well. Difficult for Juggernaut to last in under tower just because there's so much pressure from the ion shells, but
Cold snaps in mid. Miracle. He's getting back underneath the tier 1 tower, but they've already got enough damage to kill him. A great ensnare from GH, but here we go again. The nightmare onto no one. GH should have the physical damage, and yeah, he does. Gets through the Invoker. So more levels, more money in for GH, but Miracle, not the death that he's looking for, because they want to snowball with the TA, right? Like the TA is meant to get out of control.
yeah. I think you have you don't have as much pressure in this kind of game because I think that you win team fights as the game continues. You always have that Song Jakiro combo and Visage to apply pressure for you. I think it's one of those rare games where TA isn't forced to just play make. You can kind of just relax, shove lanes, farm some ancient stacks.
Kuro's hurting on top, but he'll be okay. Roger and Pasha is just a burrow strike into Axis, both of those at level 2, so both hurting. Quite a fair chunk for Jakiro.
You can see though, I love the sleep play mid though. You were just talking about it, but VP, these two teams, they make you work for everything. That was one last hit away from just escaping and saving his Invoker. I think that tower shot was really the main reason. I'm surprised it didn't drop aggro.
He's got the ensnare. Now I'm going to hold him in position. A quick burrow strike away, and Riptide was still able to connect. But this will make it difficult for Roger to finish what he tried to start doing, which is to pull the creep wave in behind the tower. He went the long way around past the shrine, so really did miss this timing quite heavily. All he can do is actually soak the experience up underneath the tier 2. He can't hold it there. Not enough life.
Bit of an understatement. He's almost dead, but I mean, it's fine.
Oh, this is a nice way to get through TA, right?
Yeah.
You get the Ice Wall, now you got the Cold Snap, but it's the Nightmare and then the attack, so the defensive refraction charges just taken away from Miracle.
Yep, and that's the big thing is that when you're playing against TA, you want to go for the Forge Spirit build, as you see no one doing. The Ice Wall as well, like you just burn through the refraction, and the amount of pressure you can output just renders them useless. And this is a matchup TA wants to stay ahead of, much like playing against Shadow Fiend. You get to a certain point where you're under-leveled, you don't have the items to continue pressuring, like you're forced to do what no one's doing now, which is just, or sorry, Miracle, just go into the woods.
Yeah. Nice bounty runes in for Team Liquid, Mind Control. Just bottling through it all. Now those bounty runes give a full bottle. He just Iron Shell up a Hill Troll Priest, continues to surge around and wasting time of Roger and Solo. Very rarely does this support combination of VP have their time wasted. And then Mind Control just TPs out as well after Iron Shell burning the wave down thanks to the catapult.
I really like what no one did middle as well. Like after he applied all that pressure, he just hard denied. And as you can see, he's just maintaining lane control on his hill. So even though GH is here to soak, it's a lot harder for him to ever secure last hits when he's forced to run up right into the range of no one in order to actually hit a creep.
Is this really what you need to do though? Because okay, GH starts to soak. Maybe he can start the stacks as well, and that's what Miracle and GH are both doing. It's going to leave top lane a little bit exposed to this smoke gank. Actually, no, it's not. Kuro breaks it already. Puts the Observer Ward down. They get all the information they want. There should be a simple run out. In fact, maybe with the help of GH, they thought they could take a fight, but 3 heroes. Pasha's moved over. They already set up the Brain Sap, and Kuro's the target. He can try and TP out, and actually he can do that if he didn't get hit by the Sunstrike and then the Axe, as Kuro will die. Like, there are no more stuns available with the ensnare that was on Roger, but not enough space.
You're okay with this if you're VP. Obviously, Kuro going down, but he got some cool wards off, both high grounds in this top lane. I think that one should get countered, the one close to the secret shop.
Matumba's on the run again. Stick charge is available. The Sunstrike right on the money. No, this is what he wants to have. Back-to-back kills. Assists at least, with one of them being a kill. Kuro might be able to get a little bit more. Solo in deep. No, of course he can't. Solo's got the Brain Sap. Gets the kill before his own death. But that's both of the dragons to the safe lane of Liquid going down, and this movement of GH not really changing the pace enough for him.
And they really did not want to TP the Darkseer up top either. No one else can really go stand bottom against Jug. He's got ult prepared, already shoving into tower with an Aquila. Like, you have way too many heroes up top now for Liquid. The Visage is not level 6, no HOD either, so it's not as if they can push the tower. And as you can see, they did recognize that Kuro had warded on that high ground, so they get the ward as well. You take that if you're VP.
Well, Nahar's talking about the D-warding that comes out from Team Liquid, but Virtus Pro as well. Oh, the rotation's working here against Miracle. The spin from Ramses. Then again, Refraction charges up for Miracle. Solo caught on the wrong side of the river. The TA trap slows him with a little bit of damage, but they have to take the Nightmare off. But it's all a little too late. Liquid scrambling to try and find something here, but it's been very difficult for them.
Yeah. It's so cool watching these teams play, because for a second I thought the Jug was Miracle, because I've seen him make that rotation on Jug so many times. Notably, I think with OG winning a major off of it.
Sunstrike, they're waiting for the perfect control time. Roger, he knew he was low on life, but the Tranquil Boots are coming in, so everything is going to get back anyway. It's just continuous pressure across the map. That's what the Invoker Exort build enables you to do.
Both teams are so good, man. It's just such quality, Dota. All these little things. It's impossible to talk about everything when you're just watching a game live, but every time these teams play, I swear there's enough replay review any team could do for like an hour or so. The little things, the warding, the item builds, the efficiencies. I've seen bottles refilled twice already.
we hadn't even kept a closer eye on this guy, like Mind Control. We saw him for half a second. He's been just on that bottom lane farming up. He's at 4.2k net worth. He's actually 400 in front of no one, which is probably going to make this kill worth even more. They rotate in. He did go very, very deep. Mind Control was creep skipping between the tier 2 and tier 3 tower on the bottom lane.
And Kuro said at the start of the game that everyone had muted VP, and if they wanted to talk, they could talk to him. You would think like that might be a joke, but I'm pretty sure it's serious.
Considering all the voice lines that get spammed out, yeah, it actually probably is deadly serious.
Because it's just something that breaks your focus, even if it doesn't tilt you necessarily. VP is really good about ensuring that you know they just killed you. And wow, no one just used his first Midas 9 minutes into the game. Not a bad timing. He's top net worth already.
Yeah. That death of the Darkseer allowed him just to switch places. Top lane took a little bit of harassment. Mind Control's getting back on bottom. He wants the healing ward from Ramses. Mid lane. Meteor drops. Miracle has no real defense, but he's got friends. GH turns around, and that negative armor hitting into no one enables Miracle to get the kill. Solo, they don't really want to chase him much more. Meanwhile, up on top, it is going to be the trade-off, so Kuro falls, the man taking it for the team, both in voice lines as well as deaths.
The armor is going to be a critical component for any VP team fight victory.
Oh, Omni Slash! There's still not enough damage. That's a level 1, so only 3 hits. Top lane, that is enough damage. GH will fall.
Yeah. You can see Invoker, when he takes that Melt Strike and the Naga E to the face, that's -6 armor. He's only got 4. So as this game continues, Visage is going to have a Medallion, then a Solar Crest. You're going to have TA with the Deso. You're going to need to maintain your armor, and it's going to be very important for no one to either watch his positioning or itemize for a Shiva's ASAP.
Is Shiva's enough, and can you get like some other items which are just able to pick it up a little bit more? Like obviously you got Aquila, Fire Strike top. They're actually using that for birds. So you got the Aquila over on the Juggernaut for now.
The Medallion on Beastmaster is going to be big. We can expect to use that defensively. He'll probably want a Solar at some point as well. Crimson Guard always excellent against the Visage, but part of the reason the panel like Liquid's draft so much is that it's very balanced. It's an easy game for them to win fights, and they have the ability to shove lanes just with birds, with ion shells. Jakiro from Kuro is always able to do so as well.
Setting up on Mind Control. The Sunstride's coming in. The familiar birds want to help out with this, and Solo, well, he's being a bit of a nuisance, and that's why they're locking him down, Solar Sumptioning into him. And Solo's on the run, the back, and the ensnared Juggernaut starts his TP. Have they got the damage? Yes, they do. 2 heroes will fall for Virtus Pro. And Team Liquid, they couldn't pressure enough on the top lane, but maybe they could do it on the bottom lane now.
It's a close game. We can't expect... I'm surprised no towers have fallen yet, but both of these lanes are just all stagnant. Like, no one is really making moves into side lanes. You can see Visage coming down bottom, but it's because he finally has that tempo timing. HOD, birds up, rotated Miracle as well, who suddenly... How? Miracle's really far.
Yeah, he's got 5k. He's already got the Treads Aquila. He's 1 Mithril Hammer away from having the full Desolator. And Roger, top lane, try to go in on Kuro, instantly regrets his decision.
Did I miss something? Like, how's Miracle caught up?
It was the stacks. They had a couple of Ancients prepared for him. Now they move forward looking for more kills. He's only got 2-2-2, so you know it's not the kill. Sunstrike up on top. Revenge is granted. Mind Control going down every time Raw comes off cooldown. They just burned it out, this time with Medallion buff up on the Beastmaster. Ramses rotates in, looking after GH. He's got Song of the Siren while the spin is up. He doesn't want to go underneath that tower. Trying to get it off, but he just can't do it. The Cold Snap cancelling it. I'm wondering if he wasn't going to get it off anyway, so just accepted his fate.
I think it's good to save it there. You don't want to blow such a long cooldown. Nearly 3 minutes of time you'd be playing without Song. Now that this mid tower is available, that's Liquid's next play. You want to have all your skills available. Jakiro only level 6, so the combo isn't quite there, but they've been real good about landing the Matumba Man bird stuns as the Song fades, and you have so much lockdown. You get that full charged up TA trap, so it'll actually do damage as well. He's going to have Deso and 300 gold on TA.
Yeah. It's been a good time for Miracle. Even with that Bane making his life a living hell in mid lane, it's a turnaround for him. And then Matumba and Mind Control, they're just trying to control the bottom lane. And this is creating a lot more space on top. There's familiar drop downs again on the Juggernaut. He can spin and get away from this. So there's no threat here really for Ramses, but the continuous pressure from Liquid, I'm wondering if this is the smoke and mirrors. What is Liquid achieving elsewhere on the map while this is going on? Is it the TA farm? Is it Jakiro? Is it something else?
I mean, the Deso on TA is going to be picked up real soon. Yeah, Kuro's just sitting up top. Max...
Smoke gank. VP is already here. Look how fast they send in that Naga Siren. She's got the Iron Shell on her. They'll back. They kill off the Bane. Omni slash GH. He'll just mirror image. Dodges most of it. The spin, however, GH can't get out of the trees. So Ramsey spin TP will get himself a kill. Roger was there to help out. He's got Burrow Strike in 2 seconds time. Stick Chargers cannot give enough life to survive that long.
In the meantime, up top, you had Beastmaster land a Roar, immediate Sunstrike follow-up from No One's Invoker. He lands that kill, but you gotta keep in mind, VP, they need their 3rd or 4th items before their cores have any real survivability. You're gonna need a Manta +1 on Ramses, and No One, yeah, he's gonna have Midas, he'll have Ags, but he's got 5 armor still. TA Deso Melt Strike, he's gonna get 3-shot. Add in any other spells, a little bit of lockdown, you know, like the Visage Birds alone, once that medallion comes up.
With the support of Liquid, obviously Matomaman having that dominated nice and early, can they just slip into Roshan now? Song of the Siren is up. Can they take this, or do they need the tier 1 tower in mid gone before they can achieve it?
I think you can take the mid tower for free. I don't see VP being able to win a fight, especially against Song, so I don't mind that move. Up top, if you look, they know Pasha's in Viz. They just scanned him out, so yeah, he's going to back away wisely.
Waiting for the 15-minute bounty runes. Darkseer has come down. He's underneath his own dire observer wards. They got the information. Pasha just stands on the rune and actually claims it too.
Yeah. But man, Liquid's timing is going to be so strong. You got Medallion HOD on Visage, the Song combo, Darkseer's going Crimson Guard right away, and the TA has Deso, so...
Hello! Solo put down the Observe Ward. Don't know if Kura saw that while they're trying to look for the gank onto him, but Ensnare up and Solo, Brain Snap, just sustained the fight. Remember, he's still got that Nightmare to try and dodge, and by a little bit of time, difficult and, well, not impossible, but futile.
In a really good place on Liquid right now. And Ramsey's going for the Yasha straight into Manta build, so he's not really going to scale that well either. Game's still even, 14-10, gold disparity still in favor of VP ever so slightly, but I don't know if they're going to be able to take a fight anytime soon.
It's that combination you're talking about. It's the negative armor, and Virtus Pro, even net worth isn't enough because they need to have the extra cash in order to deal with it. It's almost like an alchemist right now. You know you need to be ahead. Ramsey is the man on the run. GH has the Ensnare available. Doesn't want to just throw it just yet. Ramsey starts to spin. Knows he's locked in position, then begins his TP out. He's going all the way back to base. And Team Liquid, even if they don't have the creep wave, they don't care. It's a little bit further away, but they're just going to take out the tier 1 tower on the top. No more no backdoor regeneration for these towers.
Yeah. You can see what VP wants to do. No one down bottom, he's split pushing, but as this game progresses into the mid game, look at the Liquid heroes. You have 4 heroes that can shove creep waves without needing their hero to be anywhere near. Naga Illusions, TA Traps, Visage Birds, Darkseer Ion Shells, and then Jakiro is arguably the best 5 position in the world at just shoving lanes. So how are you actually going to be able to apply that typical VP pressure to open up the map when Liquid can just eat creep waves even faster than you?
Yep. And then how are you meant to contest Roshan? Like, if all these side lanes being pushed in, how does VP get what they really want to have, which is going to be the fights? And now, Fiend Script, well, is out. Mataman's got his burst with him. Raw, Sunstrike, the damage is enough to kill Visage. In return, no! The double drops! Kuro is here with the Ice Path to ensure there isn't just an easy escape. The bird's coming back up again. They have bonus damage as Mataman starts to heal. GH already with his but it's Miracle who's jumped forward, chasing after Pasha. And who really has that extra armor? Medallion was meant to give Pasha the advantage, but Miracle claimed his life as well as his units.
Night Wolf creep. 30% more damage to an incredibly high physical damage lineup already. Now you just walk into Roche. You already have this ward of the Ancients that's going to protect you.
You got Blink on TA?
Yeah.
She's got the money for it 17 minutes in.
Yep, and it doesn't, no one's net worth is not relevant. As soon as he gets targeted, he's going to go down. He'll be able to output damage. He has that axe, he can spam spells, but how does he stay alive to get them off when he's pressured and near, like, he's going to be immediately forced to run away if any of the Liquid cores get in his area. You can deal with Darkseer, but Visage lands a Q on you, like, you're just dead or you're going in this.
And this game, no one, he hasn't played Invoker in a while, and maybe you won't want to play it for a while after this. But either way, Ensnare, they managed to catch out Roger, but Roger very smart. Song of the Siren, smarter from GH. SK just locked in and brought down this, the double damage, fresh double damage rune on the Templar Assassin. You said high damage. That's 107 plus 247. Yep, the Sunstrike's going to be on the money. So Darkseer will fall, but the damage is being inflicted to the mid lane.
The VP doing a great job thus far with the limitations of their draft. They have to find these kills. They can't take fights, and That's the second or third time you've seen this just roar off the Shadow Blade right into a Sunstrike. It's something VP does very well. Part of the reason they're in this final, they understand their win conditions. Beastmaster's not going these massive teamfight items because that's not their strength. He has to play fast off the map.
They actually saw his refraction come down. Now they're into the Omni Slash, combining with the Brain Zap. Miracle just wants to keep running away from this GH. Able to buy a little bit of space, but in comes your Invoker. Deafening Blast timing, little bit off. They have 9 minute buy time for Ramses, but Invoker goes down. Ramses will join him. Miracle just had the damage reach. You thought it was a trap for VP to spring. They had the Obs and the Sentry. They had the information. Now all they do is they burn the Aegis Immortal, hitting the Ice Path, and then Sideblade attack. Miracle doesn't even come into range of the tier 3 tower to find the kill.
Yeah, beautiful play from Liquid.
What do you want to do, Pasha?
Oh,
did they see him for half a second? I think they knew Pasha came in behind him. They dropped the Sentry. They've dropped the secondary Sentry. The Ice Path will connect. Beastmaster Shadowblade's wearing off. They've got the Dust as well. Spidey senses are tingling, and Team Liquid put 4 in the grave of Virtus Pro in the span of 30 seconds.
This is such a great draft from Liquid.
Oh, mid. Epi looking for a bit of a rebuttal. Refraction charges, buying time for Miracle. Now Ensnare. Roger really trying to force the issue. Nightmare buying a little bit more time for the Ice Path. And combination is great from Liquid. That was optimistic to say the least from Roger.
It's just there's so much minus armor that this draft can output. You got -5 from the Naga, -14 from a Meld Strike of the TA, sorry, 15. Visage has the -10 of a Solar Crest. Like, how do you actually survive? As soon as you're isolated by a net, you're just going down, and that's an incredibly long disable. 4 seconds, soon to be 5. You don't have any method of surviving. You don't really win a team fight, and you can see this great trap. Yeah, they see the TA, they have a great setup here, but he has Aegis, so he doesn't care that he gets gripped. Sunstrike, ult. So many ults used, you don't even finish off the Aegis. Now all of a sudden, you reconvene. There's the Jug versus Naga factor. You're going to get net through spin the entire game. Now it's down, you get chased. Yeah, there's a defensive sleep, but does that really mean anything when there's so many methods of breaking it and no real combo break or counter initiation from this VP side? There's no Kunkka, there's no ET.
I thought it was there if the Deafening Blast was able to clip him, but the Tornado dropped him like a fraction of a second after Blast passed underneath the feet. So they didn't have that pushback, which they really required just to pop the Aegis and buy more time at the start of the fight. Yeah. Probably the reason why PGL production team focused on no one during that fight. It's like, guys, problems.
And look, no one has Blink now. Bot's up soon, but again, these items increase his ability to farm and play around the map. He still can't survive. He won't be able to take fights. The moment he's targeted, he's going to go down. So if you're Liquid, you just need to find this Invoker.
It's space creation is what the VP game is right now. No one able to get the kill on Kuro. Pasha using that Shadow Blade. Even if he dies, it's okay, because he created more space. And he's wasting time. Mind Control and GH are chasing him. He's got Miracle also on the way up. So Pasha will die, but a Blink Dagger has been farmed up by Roger on the bottom lane, and he's pushing that out in the meantime.
Yeah. You're doing as well as you can under the circumstances of your VP. It's going to be all in on this one team fight. You have the ability to find a pick. Oh, wow, nice blink from no one there. If he caught a bird hit, he might have been in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, the Grave Shield gave him a little bit of an indication that fights were coming.
Yep. No one is playing super efficient, always shoving mid. This is the 2nd minute in a row he's farmed while stacking Ancients. Pasha continuously finding kills, but again, I'm just concerned. They don't necessarily have the matchups to win this game as it continues unless they can somehow find their way into the late game. This next Aegis from Liquid is going to be very scary for them. Jug needs this Maelstrom, and then you're looking at, like, someone needs an AC. Jug probably needs a Scotty at some point. It's just there's so many items that it feels like they need before they can successfully take a real engagement. And we haven't even seen a song combo yet.
No, we have not. So, and maybe it feels like we're overselling this where Team Liquid are in control when, like, at the top 3 networks, currently it's 2 at the moment for Virtus Pro who are sitting in there. But the Invoker is not poor by any stretch of the imagination, but it's that effective network that we're talking about. But that's why they try and get more out of the map. No one's on bottom lane, pushing into the tier 2 tower. DP support is coming back by Mind Control. So he'll hold the tower back, and this does effectively stop any kind of team fight that Liquid can achieve in the mid lane.
Ramsey's doing a great job getting the top tower in the meantime.
Yep. And the Hawk seeing everything for Virtus Pro. The Beastmaster kept that Hawk alive for a very long time, just stalking the Liquid lineup. So VP are making really good decisions. They pulled their head together, and that's why Smoke Up from Team Liquid. It does, well, okay, Beastmaster got caught napping on the sidelines. He nightmares the Templar Assassin. Not certain that was the target he was looking for, but he'll take it. It was Roger who was the one to break the smoke and then bailed out.
Yep. And all they need is these couple of pickoffs.
EMP Tornado gonna kick him. Miracle blinks forward. The Song of the Siren catching the back lines. Virtus Pro, they need some extra help. The Ice Pass and the Macro Pyre. The Nightmare! In poor time for no one to go invis, but the back into the wall. The Macro Pyre, he'll do the work. It's still heavy damage with the Epicenter returning a little bit more into Virtus Pro. Not to mention the fact that Juggernaut is still up and kicking. Both versions of him, the Darkseer one and the other. But now Ramses hitting into Miracle. This is huge kills now for Virtus Pro. Mind Control has to surge himself away to safety. That was not the fight that Liquid looking for, and it's not at the end of it either. Mind Control, the runaway, Ramses, oh, he desperately wants this, but Pasha buys back, and he'll claim it with the range axes. Well played indeed. Team Liquid, they lose 5, going high ground, and all they got was 400 damage to a tier 3 tower and a kill and an Invoker and a Bane.
And people really want to kill these VP heroes. We saw LGD in the previous series lose a couple of games because they dove too deep. You can see, I love the play from GH, but you can see Crow backpedaled for a couple of seconds. He's not quite ready for this Song blink in. He's 4 or 5 seconds behind. Tanks the EMP anyway. If he's able to set up to get a multi-man Ice Path, this is a completely different fight. But now you hard commit onto the Invoker. Again, the sleep save to buy a little bit of time. The Roar on top of the TA BKB. Great epicenter from Roger. And now all of a sudden, look where Liquid's heroes are. And they don't have, like, it's all about their team fight. When Visage and Jakiro both die at the start of a fight, the Balto's dead too. You lose a significant portion of your damage. There's no lockdown.
Yeah, it's A-OK from Ramses. May have even done that when he's in the middle of the Omni Slash. And the Omni Slash was focused primarily on Matumba and Kuro. It never really bounced out anywhere else, so we got the exact targets he wanted. And this is that scary thing you were talking about. VP now going to have money. What are they putting it into? What are the items we're looking at? Blink Dagger for Pasha, but what are the other dangerous items against Liquid?
I mean, this BKB on no one's going to be huge as well because they don't have... It's so hard to lock an Invoker down once he has BKB. Yes, he'll still be incredibly susceptible to that physical damage output of the TA, but you can play faster. You can just be evasive. TA has a very hard time sticking onto targets, especially as the game goes later. You can see in his quick buy right now, he's got a Scythe of Ice. Yep.
If he can lock down targets that way, but then you just got a 4-star followed by Roger. Ooh. He cancels his epicenter, realizing he was doing it underneath an Observer Ward. 4-star up the hill, so the Raw controls GH into the Omni Slash, and GH will fall. 46 seconds down, and now Roger! The 3-man Burrow Strike! He came under the Familiars, however, and they had the back wall combination. The Ice Path can't hold anybody. But Roger, damn, that looked good. Unfortunately, it was his death that was the only result from it.
Dude, another thing I forgot to mention, I've not played Darkseer in years, but when you get the wall illusions now of the Beastmaster, especially if this game gets later, most end up taking the inner beast attack speed. That's all the way at level 25, but still, you get Beastmaster aura. If anyone buys Vlad's or AC on VP, you're going to steal that as well. And the Jug illusion is very powerful. That's not a negligible hero. And the recent changes to wall mean that those illusions are now doing max damage when your wall's maxed out, which is going to be in about 200 XP for the Darkseer. Sorry, 100% damage.
It's even more enabling too, because Team Liquid, they're bouncing in both the TA as well as the Nagastar into this melee kind of range. So if one hero is isolated, the burn is just so hard that you can't stay alive. Like the SK, yeah, you got 4-star, you used everything, and it would have been a very different fight if Roger didn't get caught out. Like if he got in with the epicenter, that 3-man Burrow Strike into Epi would have been fantastic with the 4-star disengage, but he did the best he could with what he had left.
Yep. Now, I like what VP's done with their vision. They have total control over the bottom half of the Dire jungle. Just really to get vision, they need to continue playing and mirroring the map. You don't want to just walk into Liquid because at any point, a Song combo, the TA initiating on somebody caught unawares, like your heroes are still very squishy. You need to keep playing the same way. Push the map, play for the late game. I love Ramsey's choice of items here. The Manta into Maelstrom. Looking for a BKB next.
Yeah, they'll have both of those BKBs up soon. They've already got the one on the Invoker.
Yeah.
You're going to get a little bit of it's more dodge control.
Yep.
Bane going to go for the Ghost Scepter so he can Nightmare off the other targets. Thinking about Roshan, it is up. Team Liquid passing in front of it, not to kill it. They're coming under the cover of smoke as a quick pause from Ramses. Needs to readjust those knees.
Yeah,
or
so
potentially
this
down.
Is fine. This is a great moment for there to be a pause. smoked up from Liquid right now. They just saw their ward get countered, but it was done very efficiently from Pasha. Using the minions, standing just to the left. This is a difficult fight for Liquid. You're going to be walking right into a potential choke point.
Yep. And into Vision, you know, is probably already there. And the Hawk, it's going to look at Roshan. So Liquid, they smoke up looking for a fight. Now they're going for Roshan, but it's all visible. And Urani is going down pretty fast, but here comes the Rinceburst Pro, GH. He's got that blink, Song of the Siren ready to go. Epicenter from Roger. He's blinking in. 4-star goes for the Burrow Strike, but Liquid have already left home. They catch out Pasha inside the river. They saw it coming from a mile away, and they'll get solo. Liquid with a double up. Now they can finish off Roshan. Unless no one wants to do something a little bit scary, Ice Path will connect. The TA trap slowed him down. He had no real way to escape from this, and now he'll burn his 10-second BKB, but they had the detection available, so Ensnare holds him in position. Now the fresh BKB burn, Invoke dead for 70 seconds, and Team Liquid are about to pick up Aegis as well as Cheese.
Yep, the bird, that was incredible. Miracle side-bladed down.
Roger, not again. He's not going to mess with them. In fact, outside of it, the Dire do kill Roshan. Aegis goes to Miracle, and they're out.
He side-bladed down the bird. They had no vision. Thus, Roger just blinks in blindly to the pit, but they've already moved away. And a big advantage of that is that they have control of the Roche pit, and they still have the superior team fight. Beastmaster walks in, but how do you actually initiate as VP with no vision in this sort of game? You don't have any real reach, and you still don't win team fights against Liquid.
That's when you're going to feel it out. That's what Roger tried to do. Team Liquid felt it coming, and then push down the mid lane. There is no one here from VP that can defend. They must let this mid Rax fall, and they must make sure they don't get caught out. Ramses is pretty damn close. And Song of the Siren is still up from GH, so Liquid have nothing to lose by pushing here. I don't think there's any way VP can find a kill on it. The BKB is down for the Invoker, not to mention him being dead anyway.
Yep.
So, yeah.
No. It's a good decision, though. You get the Rax, take Shrine, take the 4 Bounty Runes that just spawned, finish your Hex on the TA, go high ground with Aegis. You still have another 4 minutes with this and Cheese. You're not feeling any pressure if you're Liquid. You know you still have the stronger lineup for at least the next 5-10 minutes in this game. If you're VP, you need an immediate pickoff, and then I want to say long fights, but I don't even know if that really favors them. They need a kill or 2 right off the bat, and I just don't know how you're going to get that if Liquid doesn't 5-man dive into your base again.
That's why Pasha's out, just roaming, trying to find this side pickoff. Like, he's only got Medallion with the Shadow Blade, so it's not a lot of damage to work with. You'll need the Invoker being physically there and not just the Sunstrike.
Yep.
Team Liquid, they're just establishing vision control. They got the Gem of True Sight and the Darkseer, who really should not die. Pipe as well as Crimson, so...
And Kuro took VPs off that last team fight, so there's no real vision control now for the side of VP. You have no real vision whatsoever on your side of the map, and you can't comfortably place any because Jakiro can just check high grounds with Ice Path, no big deal. You need a kill to start a fight. You need a pick-off, but how do you find that with no control and no vision?
Space created on bottom lane. The Invoker push in with the Forest Spirits and double catapult. They at least bring that tower down low, and this will waste a little bit of time with the Aegis the Immortal. They're not even planning on using the cheese. Matumba's got TP in his inventory and the cheese in the backpack. So they know they can wait a little bit more time. No one will have that space on the top to farm up the Shiva's Guard. He's got a double creep wave to farm.
I love the little things. Miracle just placing a quick trap on the high ground because the Jakiro was pushing the lane, so they get that D ward. Not something you'll see every core player do. They're going to miss this one. There's actually, like, I think posted on Reddit about just a really unique spot that Solo found. One of the best warders in Dota, but as Nahaz brought up during the panel, Kuro seemed to have his number and still continues to do so as this game progresses.
Yep. I'm wondering if, well, they will obviously care about that ward. It's almost a full duration one. And the only way to de-ward that is putting a sentry right on top.
Yep. Or trap with a gem.
Or trap gem. That'll work.
Yep.
Flying vision. Yeah.
I still like what they're doing. You know, VP just continuing to try and buy time, but Liquid again, we said 4 minutes. Now there's 2 minutes left on this Aegis. It's go time. They've bought almost everything they possibly can. If you look at the current gold, Visage just finished a BKB.
No one
TA
has
finished the Hex. Yep. He can survive better now, but I still think he goes to negative if he catches all the minus armor from the Liquid lineup.
Pasha was still creep skipping top. He's only now going to TP back. Regenerating up inside the fountain, not already in a pre-prepared position. That's what the familiar birds are looking for as they go over the trees. So Roger will have to do this from deep inside the base. With the 4-star, he does have that extra range, but the familiars are doing the work at the moment. Ramses wants to attack him, but he also does not want to get chain stunned Not when Miracle is just itching to jump in, and there we go. Invoker, EMP Tornado, caught out Matumba, but the Blink Fort. Miracle will go for it for the bar. The BKB protecting him as he wants to stand his ground. Save for Ramses, no one was just able to escape. The Song of the Siren is out, that's why the Omnisage is still going to work. It only killed off one familiar. Now the BKB of Ramses, he does get back up, but the epicenter of Roger, the fact kept him away. Mind control with the great control. GH can be Lotus popped up, protected for the moment. That's why the concept returns. Roger, he'll go down. TA will finally get that jump in to find real kills with the Soul Assumption, getting through into Ramses. 5x not available for either of these players. No one must BKB. Moving away from Miracle, moving away from the Ice Path control. The Rax is barely surviving.
Just 20 more seconds.
Watch that timer then. Maybe you get a little bit too overconfident. GH jumps in, Blink goes in for the rooting over on Solo. A little bit deeper thanks to the 4-star. Meteor Hammer also looking to hit its target, but the cold snap counts that. Fiend's Grip from Solo. He wants revenge. Miracle, the aggressive jump forward, not to mention the Ice Bar, canceling that ability. The Deathling Blast and Meteorite at least remove the defensive refraction charges of the TA. But the Rax, the melee is already gone. The range is the only thing left standing on the bottom lane. Pasha is trying to help out. That Aegis model has expired, and with it, Team Liquid's push will probably do the same thing. Everybody retreat. Nothing of real value was lost here for Team Liquid.
And these teams are both they're so good. They make you work for everything. The BKB timings from Miracle and No One in that fight were a frame or two before the stuns that would have disabled them landed. Like, it's so crisp. Even though Liquid is still in command, it's still one mistake. Like, they make one more misplay, take a bad fight, even 2 racks ahead, and it just feels like VP could storm right back into this game.
VP are coming out. They're looking for a fight. As far as Division go, there is an observe ward planted smack bang in the middle of the mid lane. So Liquid already know that this movement is coming. Nakura is even putting a defensive Ice Path down on top of the Bounty Rune just in case. VP's just trying to get any money they can. They only got 1 out of those 4 35-minute Bounty Runes. Epicenter going in with a jump forward. Sunstrike onto Kuro. Song of the Siren. Everything just stops. Kuro turns around for the Ice Path, and they just hit with Meteor Hammer, Song, and then Roger goes after buying time. Burrow strikes up the familiar chain stun from Matumba. Right on the money.
Okay, like, it's just, even the item choice, GH, I haven't talked about it, but he just went Blink Meteor Hammer. Partly because he has his teammates to pick up all those team fight sustain items that traditionally the Naga support would want. You know, the pipes, maybe the Crimson, the mech, etc. None of that is necessary.
It was mind control, right? Like, he had such a great start in bottom lane. Like, the guy even had a Lotus Orb affecting in that last fight.
Yeah, he has Crimson Pipe Lotus.
Roars out. Nightmare at least keeping a little bit of Liquid occupied as Darkseer falls instantly. It's the Naga Siren that slept up. The Omniscience, but Thomas Burst looked up a lot. Solo finally gets the Fiend's Grip off, and here's the double kill that no one was just begging for. Huge amount of death. Liquid just have to get the hell out of here. The Nightmare won't allow this, but GH Kuro doing his own TP out. GH will die on the steps of the palaces, maybe. Yeah, one more attack will do it from Pasha. Kuro was able to complete his TP away, but you mentioned it, one bad fight, and even 2 racks down, BP can come back into this.
Yep, suddenly it's 2K lead. And Mind Control bought back there as well. Where was TA?
Watch the replay, check it out. That would be the best way. Here we go.
Yeah, so you can see TA just picked up a Daedalus and is now running back to his team. They're not able to fight Ramses with the immediate BKB. This is the double BKB combo of the VP course. There's not much you can do to them if Naga's out of the game.
The Boar and the Troll Trapper was sitting inside the river, so even if Miracle wanted to blink himself over, he got caught when his refraction charges were down.
Yeah, and Song was down because they had used it on Roger previously. It's still down, actually. Like, that's what's so key. I feel like that's part of the reason VP's even in that area. They know with no Song, they have the freedom to do so. Otherwise, a BKB core gets netted, and then the Song isolates the rest of the team. But there, you just commit hard. And even though Visage, he's got a lot of items, but very squishy still. BKB, Ag, Solar, but there's no AC up. There's no Shivas. Like, his health pool really isn't what you would expect.
Miracle is planning another trap. This time in a place where no Sentry Ward in his right mind will be planted, but no one came out to fight it. You thought that no one would have actually, like literally, come to push the lane. But it didn't happen, so TP back out again, regroup up, watch that Roshan timer, as, well, it's now. He literally spawned. Naga Illusion scattered out instantly, so does the Hawk, so Great information from both sides. Let's see what both teams can do with it.
And there's the third one as well. Refresher shard for either side is an incredible pickup here.
They're grouping up underneath that observer ward. The gem didn't go far enough to the right. They didn't actually see it. So information for Virtus.pro also still on that high ground. Microtrol, he's barely out of range. That gem of true sight, not the same as normal vision. So this observer ward's watching him fight. Now Microtrol's like, oh wait, they know. Okay. But the vision is at least gone before the Roshan fight would begin. And this place is now littered with TA traps.
Yep.
Hello, Lincolns.
I'd like to see TA move to put a couple traps down bottom just to cut that wave, then be able to set up for Roche. Right now, they're not playing it, and while they do have the supers down there, it's pretty easy for no one to just cover it every once in a while because of those bots.
Double Lincolns purchased.
Yep.
So we got one over on Ramses, and they're actually doubling it onto Ramses, so no one gave it. Obviously realizing that Ramses can be the man to jump in on the front lines.
It's super effective here. They BKB, it'll get rid of the net. Like, there's no longer a net threat when you're BKB'd, and the TA can't initiate by himself with the Hex anymore because he has no ability to cancel the Lincolns either. It's almost all in the Visage, but as we've seen time and time again, he seems to be the squishiest hero on Liquid. And if he gets stunned by Roger, he just dies in a Jug Omni Slash, so he can't really move up far enough to get a Soul Assumption off to proc that Lincolns. It's just not what you're looking to. You want Miracle to be able to play as that aggressor, but now he can't.
Team Liquid are just waiting for this fight in mid. They know the bottom wave is going to push him pretty heavily. So they'll have their opportunities to slip into Roshan. That's a decent creep wave. There's someone from VP, the second they show themselves, you know Miracle goes inside the pit. In fact, already they're going in. And this is a commitment from Virtus.pro. They'll lose tier 4 towers if they commit towards this fight, but I don't think they have another choice. So already, all regeneration up. Song of the Siren. GH jumps forward. He's got 4 heroes trapped inside of this. And make it actually 5. The Ice Path grabbing the Beastmaster on the end on Nightmare in the back, hitting a 3-man wall. Roger is the epicenter, so maybe they can get a little bit of revenge kill onto GH. They don't have the control for him. TA roared up Ramses. He's got the space. He'll burn the Aegis to the Immortal, but Omnislash has already been committed. So is his BKB. So Team Liquid, they'll keep the run going. Ramses into a spin. Solo kept the Fiend Script onto Templar Assassin. Miracles had no time to attack. Even Roger's going to go set out that attack. But Tom and the Cheese gets him and keeps him in this fight. But Ramses, the damage is just so damn high. He'll finally get through him. The EMP burn is good, but Solo is down. Invoker as well as SK, the last 2 left standing. Refresher Shard was grabbed up by the Courier. SK was nearby. I don't think he actually realized that was still left inside the pit. But this is going to be a very hard defense from VP.
No buyback on the Juggernaut. Great play from GH there. Isolates the entire VP lineup as his team finishes Roche. Objective-based gaming. Now you go straight for the tier 4s.
Yep. No Aegis the Immortal, however, on Miracle. Keep this in mind. Refresher Shard was given to the Visage. So he'll have another set of birds if he wants it. His BKB's off cooldown in 10 seconds time. They get through the birds. Matumba's holding the shard for the moment. He still wants that BKB charge to work with. Miracle will start the hit without that damage from Ramses. Can Virtus.pro actually hold this line? The creep waves come in nicely through the bottom. Solo's looking for the target. Matumbaman burns the BKB already. Remember, he's got the shards. He wants to have the extra birds, and that's exactly what he does. Shard, then birds. Tier 4 tower's gone. Burrow strike forward. They're trying to get that meteorite to hit the target, but it just doesn't work. A quick move away. Roger trying to get out of it. Then he can't do it. Buyback. They'll just have to be committed. The Familiars are still up and fighting. They don't have their stuns for the moment. Now they move forward. They do have them. They're attacking in towards the fountain. Team Liquid, they want to end this. 15 seconds till Ramses is up. Do they have enough time? The Nightmare stopping the TA from attacking. GH goes after no one, but no one has Lincoln Speed to protect it. Burrow Strike Epicenter is back in again, but the Ancient is ticking down 200-0. Liquid just manhandling Virtus.pro at the end there. And VP, it felt like they were walking uphill most of the way anyway.
Oh man, that Glyph had 13 seconds left on cooldown when that game ended.